Hey everybody, it's Angel again, and I'm here with another Songwriter tips and review. Today we're going to be reviewing another string set. I promise this will be the last one for a while, but we're going to be reviewing the Silk and Steel by D'Addario. These are silver plated strings. They also have a silk wound inside of them, like a wrap inside, which makes them a lot more mellow. They're known to be like a warm, mellow sound, low tension, perfect for parlor guitars, but a lot of modern songwriters like to put them on their dreadnoughts. I will warn you though, these don't last very long. You're going to be replacing these a lot, so I hope you love the tone, especially if you're playing outdoors. But speaking of which, Rachel's got a gig, and I wanted to show you on the Songwriter tips what to do with your acoustic guitar, or at least a general thing to do before you have a gig. And this I really wanted to show you. This is by Planet Waves. It's an acoustic humidifier. Basically all you do is you grab your little pot or whatever, you can get a bowl, grab a little water. This is my water, but I'll use this anyway. And there's a little sponge in here. You just pop the sponge in there, squeeze it out so that it's damp. You put it back into the thing and you close it up. And when you're done, after you've switched the strings out, you just pop this in between the strings like that, close the case, you leave it in overnight, and that'll just keep your guitar nice and healthy for your gig. This particular guitar is going on an outdoor gig, so I'm gonna leave it in. I'm gonna leave this thing in there for a couple days. All right, so let's get on with the stuff. Here's a cool trick that I learned a long time ago from an old luthier friend that I used to work at his shop. He said, if the customer is not around, loosen the strings and just snap them. It looks scarier than it is, but please notice that when I did it, I was holding on to the ones on the bridge side, because you definitely don't want these to snap back. You don't want to hurt your bridge pins or anything like that. So hold on to them, snap them, makes it all a cinch. The other thing that you'll notice is that I didn't cut way over here at the tuner key. The reason why is because now I can safely sort of unwrap it, or it's safer anyway, and it just doesn't stab me in the hand like these things tend to do for people. So most of the time, if you notice, if you're taking off your strings, you might end up poking your finger, but if you have a little bit of leverage and you have a little bit of string to grip onto, you're all set. Got my guitar grease. Just gonna grab a paper towel, or I had this rag here, so I'm just gonna use this rag, and you're just gonna kind of work it in until you get some grease on there, and then you're just gonna lubricate the nut and the saddle. And this is gonna help you with string breakage. All right, pro tip, here we go. I noticed that this saddle was a little bit jagged. This happens over time, and this is a pretty normal thing that happens. I do have my polishing cloth here, and I'm gonna go ahead and polish it up. You can do it however you want. I don't really need to be too precise in this case because the saddle is a great saddle and it's already pretty polished, but I just want to give it that little extra smoothness so that when I put the guitar grease on there, it's got somewhere to go without any burrs. If you don't know what a burr is, look it up. All right, everybody, so I'm about to put the strings on. I adjusted the truss rod, and I'll show you that on another episode of this, but this is getting ready for gig. That means I lubricated the nut and the saddle. I'm changing the strings out. I'm making sure that I'm going to humidify it overnight at very least, and especially if it's an outdoor gig. And the last thing that people always forget, the battery, swapping the battery. I don't care if you just played it last week. If you have a gig, swap your battery. Do the responsible thing.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Alex Quantz here. Just finished the setup on this this Gibson right here with the Silk and Steel string set. Pretty cool string set, especially if you're like a finger style player. I definitely say they're like geared toward that style of playing. Like kind of like a tight bass response, so you're not getting like that runaway bass. So definitely I would say for somebody like with a lighter touch or like finger style player, if you want like a real tight bass response.